Judge Tim Evans, the county was.
Okay, good morning, everybody. I'd like to call today's Judicial and Public Safety Committee meeting to order. It is Thursday, September 11th, 2025. First item on the agenda is to establish quorum by calling roll.
Gripe.
Here.
Gums. Linder.
Linder here.
Pepe.
Pepe here.
Williams. Leonard. Molina.
Molina present.
And Roth.
Roth is here.
You have an in-person quorum?
Okay, we do have an in-person quorum. I have no requests for remote attendance today. May I have a motion for unanimous consent of the minutes for August 14th, 2025?
Linder so moves.
Any opposition? Okay, minutes are approved by unanimous consent. I have no one signed up for public comment in person or online.
Yes, there is.
Oh, there is?
Yeah.
Sorry.
See me before you leave.
Okay, we have one person signed up for public comment, Mr. John Gripe.
Good morning. I appreciate the opportunity to speak today. I call this a minute of silence. By now, you've all probably heard about the assassination of Charlie Kirk while speaking in Utah. This on the same day as a school shooting in Colorado where the shooter unfortunately took his own life, but the victims are still with us. It is a very, very sad day today and one of reflection as it is the anniversary of the terrorist attacks on 9/11/2001 where thousands of people lost their lives. With all these events occurring within a 24-hour period, we have the opportunity to reflect, but on what? The loss of life for any reason or by any means is tragic, but what is behind any violent event, I believe the answer is hatred. And I also believe we are all responsible, including me, for letting hate grow in our cities, counties, country, and world. Though I never met Charlie, I have several friends in Kane County who have volunteered at open forums and events with him, so I felt a much closer connection to him. That is partly what kept me awake last night and what called me to try and make a difference in any and every small way I can in our increasingly hate-filled world, and hence my comments today. Many of you know I'm a Christ follower, as was Charlie. That doesn't make me special, but it does call me to a higher standard of pursuing peace with and for everyone. Though I try each day, I fail each day to reach the goal of living the peace of Christ with all whom I encounter. Just yesterday, leaving this building after a meeting, someone turned in front of me on 3rd Street. I honked and scowled righteously at the driver, but it wasn't until sometime later that I realized that driving through my path may have been righteous on my part, a reaction to that event, but anything but. Every encounter, every word we utter, every action we take are all opportunities to choose a peaceful approach. Many people seem to think that politics has its own rules of justified hate. Clearly, the shooter of Charlie Kirk chose violence to respond to hate. It's also very disheartening to see that this country, that many people, especially in positions of influence in politics and the media, see no issue in encouraging hate. We all need to be accountable for our words. Unfortunately, some of those who work are able to make them accountable for this. You don't have to look very far online to see people who say any reaction and a violent one is okay. We all need to stop this by ignoring and shunning anyone who expresses their disagreement with anyone or anything with violent talk or proposed actions. A good friend of mine raised her children never to utter the word hate. That's not a bad start. Charlie was a man of peace and went to college campuses to engage anyone in discussion about anything. He was a brilliant man, even though he never attended college. His favorite phrase with those he was debating was, "Let's find some common ground." I think we should all do that.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Gripe. Okay, next on the agenda is the monthly financial reports are on file. And then we have Merit Commission.
Good morning.
Good morning.
We'll be testing for patrol officers on October 29th at Wabansie. As I speak this morning, we have about 50 applications, so I'm pretty certain we'll have well over 100 for the first time in a long time, which should help us with the number of tests that we have to give. We also have some lateral interviews coming up on the 16th. And we're also working on a way to charge applicants a small fee for each application. Several departments do that. The average is about 25 bucks. Some are at 45. Little Manuka is at 10. St. Charles, which I like a lot, their system is $20. And if you're hired, they refund that $20 on the first paycheck, which I don't know how that works, but I think it's a good system. We want to do this because we just had a corrections test a month or so ago. We had 70 applications, which a week before we have to call the testing company, the testing service, and give him that number so he can order the test booklets. He adds a couple because some applications come in late. But we had 27 no-shows. And the cost, it might not sound like a big fund to some of the bigger budgets here, but it costs us about $15 a booklet. So we just threw away close to $400. So that's why we're thinking that. I'm also trying to figure a way to give Wabansie some kind of money for the use of their building. We used to pay West Aurora about $800, and this was years ago, to test there. We paid the VFW $900 to use their hangar on Route 25 in Batavia. And Wabansie's letting us do it for free. So I was thinking at least 250 bucks because in the winter we track in snow, 50 to 60 applicants. Now we're going to have maybe 100. Who knows what the weather will be like in October. We track in rainwater, and they have a cleaning service that has to clean up after us. Also, 70 or 80 applicants use the restroom, which requires cleaning when we're done. So I don't know how that process works, other than having Wabansie send us a bill and then submit that bill for payment to the auditor or finance. So other than that, if you have any questions, I'm available.
Okay, any questions for the Merit Commission? Okay,
Thank you.
okay, next is our KingCom Director, Ms. Guthrie, good morning.
Good morning. Our monthly reports are on file. We participated in a number of events in August, which is always an enjoyable experience for our staff. One of the big events we always attend is the Sheriff's Office National Night Out. They have great participation from the community. It's a lot of fun to educate the public about 911 and engage out and about with everybody who attends. We also participated in Campton Hills National Night Out. They also attract a really big community. So I think KingCom's been participating in this event since as long as I can remember, probably 2009, 2010. And it started just as a tiny little parking lot and now has grown into thousands of people and multiple agencies participating. So that's great to see for the community. Additionally, I'm pleased to share that we are hiring 2 full-time telecommunicators on the 22nd of this month in preparation for their training and their classroom experience. You probably see my desk moving across the parking lot. We are setting up my office as a training space. We have the 2 starting this month, and then we have another hiring, skills testing scheduled for the 24th of September. So our hiring process is not going to stop anytime soon. We have a number of vacancies to fill. So we're making the best that we can of our space. They'll be in there, they'll do the classroom portion. It's important that they actually be within the comm center and part of KingCom. So I'm uncomfortable with them training in another space and then coming back to the 911 center. So that is our plan. And we can't wait to welcome our new staff members.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Guthrie. Any questions for KingCom at this point? Okay, we will move on to emergency management.
Good morning.
Thanks.
So I just want to share a few notes. It was a very busy August. And I believe I shared with the whole board, but 1,800 volunteer hours, which is I think the most in a month since I've been here. Usually the average is a little under 1,000 a month. 37 incidents and 37 details. So those are really high numbers. The only time we've gone over that is when we've had large storm impacts and we in one day we pull out 20 people out of ditches. So very, very large numbers without some disaster involved. Last month was the first ever National Emergency Management Awareness Month, and we had a number of activities, one being a proclamation and tour of the EOC. We did staff and volunteer profiles on social media. Facebook had 143,000 views during August, which is up 88% from the month before. Interactions were up 176%. And on all of that was to share what we do. And that has resulted in, I've been on the radio 3 times in the past since late or mid-August and yesterday. And all that I think is a result of we're getting more people to pay attention to what our message is. So all those things I think are going great and will continue. This is Preparedness Month, so we're continuing on social media and otherwise to share the message of what the public can do to prepare. Next, as you probably know, we took delivery of our new mobile operations center a couple of weeks ago, and we've started the demo tour. First one being the county board and county staff on Tuesday. One of the things I'm most proud of is we've made a lot of connections with county staff that I think is helping us tell them what services we offer and what training we can provide. And those are really great interactions, and we're going to keep doing that. Kind of lastly, a few events coming up. You're all invited, of course, the whole county board to the new member academy graduation, which is October 1st at 6 p.m. There's an email on that from me. So our new members, they started in April, and it's about 6 months of Wednesday evening trainings, including some Saturdays and other things. So we like to celebrate that. We'll have a catered meal and a keynote speaker, and we try to make it really nice for them. And then for part of Preparedness Month, this Saturday, the 13th, 10 a.m. to noon, we're having an emergency management touch-a-truck, our agency, as well as some of our other emergency management partners on Saturday at the Judicial Center parking lot. So come out and check out some of our vehicles, including the new mobile operations center. And that's all I have today.
Okay, thank you. Any questions for emergency management? And yeah, I had a chance to tour it, the new truck on Tuesday, and it's amazing.
We're
Just
getting a
so
lot of
top
great
of the line,
feedback.
just
Yeah.
it's great. So if anybody else had a chance to do it, otherwise maybe will it be there at the graduation?
Yes, it'll be there at the graduation, and it's today. It's at the MABUS, which is Fire Department Mutual Aid, and then the fire chiefs meeting this morning, and then next week it'll do the emergency management coordinators meeting, and then I think in October it's going to the police chiefs meeting. So we're out there sharing, and that's building connections as well, because when someone needs something, they know they can call us and what help we can provide.
Yeah, wonderful. Okay, we'll move on to our corner. Dr. Silva, good morning. Oh, I'm so sorry. We skipped our sheriff.
It's okay. I will be short and sweet. Good morning, everybody. And our monthly reports are on file. That's all.
Okay, any questions for our sheriff's department? Okay, thank you, Under Sheriff. Okay, Dr. Silva, good morning.
So as you can see, our August comparison of 2024 through 25, we are trending a little lower on cases, but I'd like to point out that overall, we're actually trending higher throughout the year at this time. I'd also like to point out that we had 266 cases, and we have only 5 full-time deputies and 1 deputy is on light duty. So while in August only, we trended a little bit lower, we are processing our cases with less help. And I just learned that we are about to lose another deputy. She came on board right at the time that I did, slightly before I joined the coroner's office. And it's really hard to compete with other municipalities to keep them. They love their job, but it is a little bit hard given our salaries. I think I've shared before that our salaries are pretty low for the type of work that they do. And then moving on to the next slide. Here is my breakdown for all the cases. I think I've talked ad nauseum as to what each category means. But I will point out that we had 17 sign out, which are unnatural. And those are the cases that cannot be attributed to a natural cause. Moving on to the next slide, please. We had 11 autopsies. And then our final slide gives an account of what each of the cases each one of our deputies had in August. So I think it's important, this being Suicide Awareness Month, that we take a look at the middle bar. And for the commissioners that are here, that you can take a look at how suicide is impacting your particular district. And a close second would be suspected overdoses. So as you can see, between overdoses and suicide, that is where our sign out unnatural deaths occur. And we are putting in place as many things as we can to help curb some of those factors. Okay, and I believe the next slide is our suicide caseload. I'm sorry, our deputy caseload. And again, we are about to lose one of those deputies. And so my plan for now is to make our para-deputy staff a little bit healthier, stronger, where we hire more para-deputies to help with this. And that's just temporary, because really we do need another few full-time deputies, but we have other concerns, which are 12-hour workdays. Given the type of work that we do, 12 hours is a long time for to continue with the quality of life for an individual. And not only that, but they do go through rotating shifts. So I am seeing a lot of problems with the fact that some of my deputies are having to work nights for a long time. And I am evaluating all of that. I'm talking to my staff and looking to see what best accommodates them and the needs of King County regarding our shifts. I would like to share, again, this being Suicide Awareness Month, that in 2025, we have had from January 1st to 9/10/25, 33 suicides. 2 of those cases were for 21 years and younger. We report the numbers to the health department. So depending on where we are reporting, their numbers might be a little different. So you might hear different numbers. However, my numbers are accurate up to 9/10/25, and also keeping in mind that not all my cases are closed. So this number could most definitely be higher at some point when I present to you between the dates of 1/1 and 9/10 for 25. In 2024, we had 40 suicides between 1/1 and 9/10. Again, 2 of the cases in 25 were of persons under the age of 21. We have distributed 4,600 boxes of Narcan in the community. And regarding overdoses, in 25, we have had 35 drug-related overdoses as of up to 9/10, and 20 were opiate-related. We have also had 2 cases of death that were attributed to mitragynine, which is kratom. And kratom is, in my opinion, a very dangerous substance that is not regulated and is sold as a wellness product. So as I get more information on that, I'm working with our national laboratory, and our staff is working to complete research to be able to present to you more information on that, so you can take it to your individual municipalities. And in my opinion, ask for stronger regulation. And finally, I would like to really recognize my staff, who is at the front and center of the opioid and suicide battle each and every day. I think I can't think of a more difficult job, and they do such a great job of speaking to the families the following day with such compassion and professionalism and providing the details that are necessary. So I see the toll that it takes on them every day, and I'd like to recognize each and every one of them for the work that they do. They certainly don't do it for the money, but we are a cohesive team who knows how to come in and help people during the worst times of their lives. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Silva. Any questions or comments? Mr. Gripe?
Thank you, Madam Chair. Thank you very much for that. This Kratom thing, I don't know much, if anything, about it, but you mentioned that maybe the municipalities could, outlaw it, whatever, restrict it. Is that not something? So Amy, this might be a question for you. Is that not some, or maybe this side, at any rate, can we not regulate or control or restrict it countywide?
Thanks. I don't know what regulatory authority Kane County has for products that are otherwise legal and not otherwise regulated by the state. I don't know if it would be a state effort that you would have to campaign for. But education is more important than regulation anyway. So to the extent that you're able to get that information out to the communities, that'd probably be just as effective as making something illegal or unwanted in the community.
Yeah, and that's my goal. The more awareness that we bring, then we can make legislators aware of what is going on. And you're right. I'm not sure if the legislation has to come down. I know when we regulated marijuana, that did come before the board. I don't remember what the circumstances were, but I do know that in bringing awareness and making our legislators aware of what's going on, it could give us more potential at the municipal level. And also, Elgin is regulating as a Delta 8. So there has to be a way to look at this. And I can tell you right now, we're going to see more deaths. And actually, the mitragynine or kratom is implicated in other deaths, but I can attribute to mitragynine. And my staff can correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't believe we saw anything in 2023 or 2024.
And that's what we keep working on also. Sorry to interrupt with that. I know way in the 15 years ago, we were still working on that. There was a crash at Mooseheart in Route 31 that the mother actually advocated for the same thing. And we were working on legislative on the federal level also to not only education, but awareness. And we kind of had that roadblock also of what could we do, countywide to not only educate, but also stop this. So we are still working 15 years later on the sheriff's side to do this. Obviously not getting very far, but as soon as we hit that to stop, the K2 from going, then we hear this is going. So whatever we stop, something else pops up. So we're still working on it.
And to that point, Amy, I suspect that we have cases where it has been adulterated, where the mitragynine has been adulterated. In high doses, it mimics opiates. So that is one use for it.
Madam Chair, if I may continue, I watched the state's attorney nodding that it was a state thing. Is it on the radar, to your knowledge, in the state for somebody doing something about this?
Everything I've heard lines up with what the undersheriff and the coroner have said, which is, as regulations develop at that level, manufacturer formula changes to keep ahead of it. I haven't heard of anything recently. I know they're beginning veto session, I believe, in the next couple of weeks here. So
yeah,
that might be.
I'll just say, I know it's legal you have to be over 18 to purchase it in the state of Illinois, but I don't see any other regulations on it. I do want to go ahead and, while we're kind of on a pause, I have Ms. Gumbs and Mr. Williams on Zoom. Any opposition to allow them in to vote and participate? Okay, and then I do see Ms. Gumbs has her hand raised, so she can provide us some legislative highlight here.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Thank you, Madam Chair. Just in reference to this, I do know it is on their radar legislatively. There are some hiccups with home rule situations, but I would like to perhaps sit down with the undersheriff and the coroner and have a further discussion so we can maybe do something at a higher level.
Yeah, and I'd also like to maybe include our public health department
Yes.
in that, because I think it's important that we have as many eyes on this as possible.
Yes, I'd be glad to help facilitate that and get our team working on it, and maybe we can get that done.
Okay,
Two.
okay. Yeah, any other questions or comments?
Thank you, Madam Chair. And so, on that note, I would just like to share that we have been out in the community participating in, various, overdose and suicide awareness events and, National Night Out. We're making a big effort to participate in our community and be known before, something happens. Thank you. So regarding the resolution, we are actually going to pull that off the agenda because, we are not ready for this. Purchasing has stated that we have to go to a bid, even though I believe there's only two companies that sell this, and we've gotten quotes for two companies, but and there is a state law that states that we have to send this out to bid because it is over $30,000. And what this is for the purchase of equipment that we have been awarded a grant for. However, I have to purchase the equipment before, well, we have to purchase the equipment, but this is coming out of the coroner's funds before we can be reimbursed. So it's the allocation of monies to a different fund.
Okay, it is on the agenda, so I think I do just need to introduce it and then request nobody makes a motion or second for it? Or do I need to? do
I think that would probably be the
Okay.
cleanest way to do that. Dr. Silva, the other thing that could be done is to simply move forward with an amendment to clarify the budget adjustment with removing details about the purchase. But if you prefer to just postpone it until a date certain, you could do that or table it.
Yeah, at this point, we see no benefit in moving forward with it. And since this is the first time we're doing it and we want to make sure that we keep track of where our little money is, we would prefer to pull it off.
Okay,
Could you could have someone make the motion, and then if no one seconds it, then it fails.
okay, so I'll just make the motion, a resolution authorizing funding for the purchase of a rapid DNA instrument and database capability for the King County Forensics Lab and budget adjustment. Okay. Hearing and seeing no second, the resolution fails. Okay, next item on the agenda is our judiciary and courts.
Good morning again. No, nothing really to report from judiciary except for upcoming two, what I think are exciting events, and hope you do too. We will have our 25th drug court graduation this October 8th. We have, I think, 17 or some large number of graduates this time. Justice Elizabeth Rochford, our Supreme Court Justice for the Second District, is not able to attend in person, but we'll have a very nice video welcoming to everybody. I think there's going to be quite a few people in attendance. Judge Downs, who is in charge of our specialty courts, is very excited about this event. So we all, if any of you can attend, we look forward to seeing you there. The other thing we're going to do is I use this phrase of cross-pollinating with other communities. I like to get out and see what other judicial circuits are doing. And last year I went to the pro bono dinner in DeKalb and Kendall that they put on for their pro bono attorneys. And it was really, really impressive. Justice Rochford, again, because she's gracious with her time, came and gave a very nice speech to that event. At that event, they gave out some awards. And what we did, if you know Hallie, who runs our law library, what we've done for years, mostly through Hallie's efforts, is have sort of an open house at the law library during the day that people could come in and out of, with some small prizes given out and a few snacks. And I felt that that was that really was an underwhelming recognition for the people who do the pro bono work here in Kane County. There are a lot of lawyers and individuals who should be recognized, as well as Hallie for their efforts. So we're stealing the idea, well, we're cross-pollinating, I guess, the idea from DeKalb and Kendall. And on October 20th, we're going to host that event as well. Justice Rochford's coming out for a meeting with the judges. We're going to have an event for them at a local restaurant. There should be about 50 or 60 people. The Bar Foundation and the Bar Association have graciously agreed to fund some awards for the individuals. I think a much more deserving recognition for their efforts. I just thought I'd let all you know that it's not just the paid lawyers who get recognized in Kane County, it's those who do the other effort as well.
Thank you. Okay, any other updates, Mrs. O'Brien? Okay. Okay, so we will move on to State's Attorney.
Good morning, Assistant State's Attorney Erin Brady. There's nothing to report on behalf of the office except to say that the monthly financial reports are on file.
Okay, any questions for our state's attorney? Okay, public defender.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Reports are on file. We don't have anything really else to report. We are taking advantage this month of the ceremonial courtroom at the old courthouse that we are going to be using for a half office wide training. So we are utilizing the brand new courtroom over there that I think is all ready to go technology wise for us. So that's all we have to report.
Okay, any questions for our public defender? Okay, so we'll move along to our court service administration.
Good morning.
Morning.
A couple of good news pieces that I have. So just this week, the Illinois Department of Juvenile Justice issued its audit of our juvenile detention facility, and it passed. All stellar comments as always. In fact, I'll quote, they state here that this facility practices exceed county detention standards and are indicative of juvenile justice best practices. So kudos to Mr. Davis and his team out at our juvenile justice facility. Also, just last week, the pretrial department within court services has officially received our letter of certification, as it were, from the Office of Pretrial Statewide Pretrial Services, which is a brand new department for the state. And so we're super excited and super thrilled about that. We should be updating our budget with the county on additional allocation for receiving that in the coming months. And I'll be in discussion with you all about that process. And then all of my reports are on file, and I have 5 resolutions, my bad, this morning to pass. Only one has different conditions. The other 4 are all exactly the same. So I don't know if you want me to lump them together, Madam Chair?
If you just want to introduce them and then do we have to do them separately or can we vote them as?
I would recommend doing them separately,
Okay.
but
No worries. That's fine.
If you want to just, I think these are similar to the ones from last month. So just a quick update and then
Exactly
I
the
can
same.
just do each of them. Okay.
Exactly. So the first one is a resolution authorizing Madam Chair to enter into agreement with Rock Island County it's a 3-year term for an IGA, raising the per diem amounts to $225 per day. And then that expires on October 1 of 28.
Okay, may I have a motion and a
Happy
second to introduce and discuss authorizing the intergovernmental agreement with Rock Island County for Juvenile Justice Services? I have a motion made by Mr. Tepe, second by Mr. Linder. Any questions or comments? Okay, may I please have roll call?
Grape. Gums,
Gums, yes.
Linder,
Yes.
Epi,
yes.
Williams,
Williams, yes.
Molina.
Molina, yes. Okay, this passes on. These all go to finance after this. So the next resolution is authorizing an intergovernmental agreement with Ogle County for Juvenile Justice Detention Services. May I have a motion and a second to discuss and potentially approve?
Gums will move.
Linder second.
Tepe moves, Ms. Gums seconds. Any questions or comments?
Madam Chair.
Mr. Grape?
Well, if it's a Scribner's error, but I think in all of these, in the therefore, it says now therefore be it resolved that the Kane County Board, that Madam Chair, should probably be reworded to say now therefore be it resolved by the Kane County Board, that Madam Chair. You can't have 2 that's in the same. Can we just agree to change that in all of these before we going forward? So when they get to finance, we can have that fixed.
you're asking me, I would
Yes.
recommend doing a motion to amend to reflect the amendment of the Scrivener's error.
Can we do that? Because we passed the
Gums will
first
move
one.
that amendment.
And I'll second. Can we do that for the one we just already passed?
So again, if you're asking me,
Please.
you would do a motion to reconsider. Well, you can't because nobody voted against it. You could make, I think, an umbrella motion to reflect that those Scrivener's error amend all 3 or 4 resolutions, and that would keep it clean.
Ms. Gums, would you amend your motion?
Do we
I
want to do
amend-
the amendment for the umbrella now before we vote on them, or do we want
I'm
to wait?
amenable to that, Madam Chair.
So since we're in the motion for the second one, I would prefer that be either withdrawn before the umbrella one comes up, because right now the umbrella one is underneath the second.
Okay, I will withdraw my motion.
Okay, so we're going to vote on this and then come back and do an umbrella on all four of them?
So what I would suggest that you could do, because I think, and Savannah can correct me, but I don't think there's a motion pending right now.
Nope.
And so what I would suggest is someone making a motion to amend.
Well, the original motion to pass it, we had Tepe and Gums.
On the second one?
Mhm.
Okay,
We do have a motion pending on the second.
okay, so there's two ways you can.
I'll remove,
right now,
I'll
someone
remove
could
my
make a
Ms.
motion.
Combs, let Ms. Our state's attorney finish first.
There's two ways you could do it right now. Someone could make an emotion to amend the scrivener's error reflected in this agreement with Ogle County. And then that could be seconded and voted on, and then vote on the amended motion. And then you could do it that way for the remaining two. Or you could come back and do a separate motion to amend all, is it 3 or 4, to reflect that same change.
So I'd recommend doing a separate motion to, just an umbrella motion to do all of them. So right now we're just voting on the motion unamended.
Let's vote yes.
Okay. Okay, so for Ogle County, motion unamended, may I please have roll call?
Gripe,
Gripe, yes.
Aye.
Gums, yes.
Linder,
Linder, yes.
Tepe,
Debbie, yes.
Williams,
Yes.
Molina.
Molina, yes. Okay, that passes. Vote on each of them and then come back and do the umbrella? Or do you want to?
That way.
Okay, okay, so the next one is authorizing an intergovernmental agreement with Lee County for juvenile detention services. May I have a motion in a second?
Debbie moves.
Mr.
Gripe
Tepe
second.
moves, Mr. Gripe seconds. Any questions or comments? Okay, may I please have roll call?
Gripe,
Gripe sec, yes.
Gums,
Gums, yes.
Linder,
Linder, yes.
Tepe,
Yes.
Williams,
Yes.
Molina, yes. Okay, item F is a resolution authorizing an intergovernmental agreement with Stevenson County for juvenile justice services. May I have a motion in a second to discuss and potentially approve?
Linder moves.
Mr. Linder moves,
Debbie
Gripe
second.
second.
Mr. Tepe seconds. Any questions or comments? Okay, may I please have roll call?
Gripe,
Gripe, yes.
Gums,
Gums, yes.
Linder,
Linder, yes.
Tepe,
Debbie, yes.
Williams,
Yes.
Molina.
Molina, yes. Okay, item G is a resolution authorizing an intergovernmental agreement with Whiteside County for juvenile detention services. May I have a motion in a second to discuss and potentially approve?
Gripe moves.
Mr. Gripe moves,
Linder second.
Mr. Linder seconds. Any questions or comments? May I please have roll call?
Gripe,
Gripe, yes.
Gums,
Gums, yes.
Linder,
Linder, yes.
Tepe,
Yes.
Williams,
Yes.
Molina.
Molina, yes. Okay, that passes. So then do I entertain a motion for an umbrella amendment to reflect the Scribner's error in items C, D, E, F, and G?
I think that's exactly right.
Madam Chair, I'd like to make a umbrella motion that we correct the Scribner's error that says that the Kane County Board to of the Kane County Board for all of the C, D, E, F, and G resolutions.
Okay, may I have a second on that amendment?
Gums will second.
Ms. Gums seconds. Okay, any questions or comments?
Can we have the language of the amendment? Just taking the word that out, I don't think the sentence still makes sense. Did.
Mr. Gripe, do you want to repeat that little, that change there?
So it would read now, therefore be it resolved by the Kane County Board that, Madam Chair. So by would replace that in all 5 or
Okay, I have a motion and a second on the umbrella amendment. May I please have roll call?
Gripe,
Gripe, yes.
Gums,
Gums, yes.
Linder,
Linder, yes.
Tepe,
Debbie, yes.
Williams,
Williams, yes.
Molina.
Molina, yes. Okay, the umbrella amendment passes. Are we good?
That-
Okay. Okay, anything else, Ms. Ost?
Nothing further. Thank you.
Thank you for that parliamentary procedure maneuver there. Okay, so now we have Circuit Clerk, Ms. Barrero, good morning.
Good morning, everyone. My reports are on file if anybody has any questions on those. I want to commend my finance department and counting. They were mentioned in the audit that was discussed on Tuesday. And they did put us through the ringer, but they came out with shining colors, so that's cool. Our cases are up about 6% total. We've issued 10 Hope cards so far. So that's kind of low, but still, we did pretty good with those. Our staffing levels are down to, from the last report. We just lost, I have to plug this, I'm sorry, but we just lost our 5th employee to other offices in this room. And we can all agree that that's regarding pay, and that and these aren't brand new employees. These are employees that 2 to 3 years. That's pretty standard. People try to job hop after 2 to 3 years, but when you're there 2 to 3 years and you're making the same as somebody walking in the door, then you do look for other areas where you could make more money, up to $10,000 more a year. I would also like to say that I'm going to start training. I'm going to start a resolution for training from all of these offices here, because everybody wants to steal my employees because they are trained in the system. So it's a little joke we have in our office that that's one way to make revenue, is to introduce a resolution for training, just like ITD does with their equipment. So other than that, there's a lot of legislation that's come through that we have had several meetings with Northeast clerks that pertain to the circuit clerk's office, several, and some of them are regarding expungements also. So we're going over those to see what actually we need to do going forward. But they're all the public acts that were passed pretty much say shall. So we have to go over those with the state's attorney's office and see what we have to do in our office for them. The other thing is I have my expungement event in Elgin on Saturday. If anybody knows anybody in the Elgin area, please remind them, with Senator Castro at the Gail Borden Library, the main branch. And that's all I have.
Thank you, Ms. Burr. Any questions for our circuit clerk? Okay, thank you for being here. Okay, next item is old business. Is there any old business anybody in the committee would like to bring up, or any other board members? Okay, any new business anybody would like to bring up? Okay, may I have a consent to place reports on file?
Deputy asks for unanimous consent.
Session reports are placed on file. We have no need for executive session. May I have a motion and a second to adjourn?
Linder moves adjournment.
Mr. Linder moves.
Deputy seconds.
Ms. Gums seconds. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, the meeting is adjourned. Thank you, everyone.